Welcome everyone. I am going to cover a response video from Freedom Unchained that he did of a video of Radical the Unhallowed Knight's response of his first ever police audit at a traffic stop. Yes, it seems confusing, but I will get into that in next week's video. Of course, there will be appropriate commentary from me. He won't get off that easy. Freedom Unchained started out doing Bitcoin videos, but soon delved into sovereign citizen territory as well. He is all about common law and God's law and blockchain, which is a crypto company, and how all those will make the world a better place. But I will let him explain that for himself.
Didn't find much time having conversations with great people that are like-minded and teaching them everything that I know and that I understand about this world and common law. So, welcome to the Freedom Unchained channel. Like always, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave me a comment, let's get a conversation started. Hit the like button, and don't forget to share this video around to everybody that wants to be free, independent, men and women living on this land. We'll teach you how to do that. We're studying common law. I'm a learned teacher. I learn it and I teach it. Something that the Law of One, Raw, trying to teach us all. If you guys want to go study what God actually is and the universe, science and spirituality is all one and the same. If you guys haven't figured that out yet.
Common laws are the unwritten laws based on legal precedents, i.e. court rulings, established by local courts all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court. And God, science, and spirituality are one and the same? No, they are not. Oh, and you just referenced Ra, who was only one god of many gods that people have believed in and still do.
So an area I'll probably be touching on more as I learn is trust and equity law. Instead of like common law, standing as a man, you can live and function in the world of fiction or world of corporations or world of commerce. You can still set your trust up and function in this world with the protections of a trust and keep all your assets away from the government, because all they are here to do is steal it. Steal your stuff from you.
So the government steals from us. Of course, free men and women of the land would never think about doing such a thing. Ow! My eyes rolled so far back on that one I could see my brain.
So this clip is a clip that I recorded as my brain exploded as I got high for the first time in a long time. And I got the brilliant idea to start writing my own dictionary, because everybody needs their own dictionary. That's the way you have to communicate.
Some people, Ken Wheeler, Lemonbird, and Spurs Chemo, to name a few, absolutely love word salad. Can you just imagine the amount of word salad being tossed around with each of us having our own dictionaries? There's not enough word salad cream for that.
Wasn't planning on doing anything, but sitting here high, my brain exploded like it always does when I get high for the first time in a while. And a word popped into my head. Collective schooling. That is my new word for the government indoctrination camps, or also known private or public schooling.
Private schools do not follow the national curriculum. Though the subjects taught are pretty much the same, private schools are paid for with tuition, not by the state, property taxes and other local sources, and the federal government.
Where the children congregate, collect together at the same time. They collect a few different people's thoughts on subjects and collects them in books. While, yeah, that might sound like a good thing to do, but as we know, that makes them indoctrination camps.
Of course, these books, where thoughts are collected and used to indoctrinate, are nothing like the dictionary that you are writing, or, say, the book like the Holy Bible, which you will pick a couple of verses out of later on in this video and use as an argument against laws.
because they're only teaching one idea. And it's not really an open market like education should be.
Private schools are an open market. If a parent can afford the tuition, they can send their children there to learn. For fuck's sake, I know your issues with school, which will be brought up here in this video soon. So of course you are going to call them indoctrination camps and piss all over them.
So, I'll have to make another definition up here. That's going to be my new dictionary, because you need a dictionary to do contracts with people, so you guys can understand each other, and then you don't have to go to court and have wars. Wars are fought because of miscommunication, or not understanding each other. So I'm going to start writing me a dictionary, and this is my first word. There's a few people that are writing dictionaries. I think Carl Lentz, when I talked to him, he said he was, I think he wrote a dictionary. I couldn't find it, went to look for it. I'll have to contact him somehow and see if I can get access to that. And then the quantum grammar people they have their own dictionary in quantum grammar for their setup of their post office reports of their post offices. So this is just going to be my personal one. I'll turn it into something one day, but it's always going to follow me. I'll have to save it somehow and then modify it as it grows.
So others have dictionaries with their own words too? I am sure they will definitely help with communication and keep people out of court. Hey, I just saw my brain again. It didn't hurt this time.
Quick little video once again. I'm just reading through this little book of fiction. People keep asking me, where does it say governments can't make laws?
Where does it say governments can't make laws? I'm on the edge of my seat.
Is it in the books that manipulate spirituality? That doesn't understand God? Can I find it in a Bible? That says God is the only creator of law?
You mean a book that was collected from a few people's thoughts and put together, and that man used to indoctrinate through collective churching?
Well, let's take a look in the Holy Bible. What shall it say about God being law? Let's check out Romans 13. So Romans 13:1 says, "Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God." So that seems like it's explaining God is the highest power, and He has all authority. And there's no power higher than God. And all powers under God were created by God. Ordained, right? Isn't that what that means? Ordained? What about Romans 13:2? Romans 13:2 says, "Whoever therefore resisteth the power resisteth the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive themselves damnation." That seems like whoever resists the law therefore resists the ordinance of God, or the laws of God. And one that resists the law will find himself in damnation. Oh no, that's not right. I picked the wrong version and misinterpreted.
Here is how I interpret these verses. First, the verse says higher powers, not highest power. Second, it says those higher powers get their power of God or from God. Thus, God gave the higher powers or powers that be their power. Third, ordained means to confer holy orders on or order or decree officially. In the second verse, the power refers to the power that God gave the powers that be, i.e. kings, rulers, governors, etc. Damnation and the powers that God ordains are religious in nature. However, God's laws are what most of the moral and ethical laws we have today are based on. If someone breaks one of God's laws, they face eternal damnation. If someone breaks one of man's laws, they face legal consequences.
It seems pretty correct to me, but okay, let's get a newer version for you. Oh, is this new enough? New international version? Will that work for you? Okay, so here's Romans 13. Let's see if this will work for you.
Let everyone be subject to the governing authority, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authority that exists has been established by God. So, yeah, sounds like law once again. Everyone is subject to the governing authority, aka the law. For there is no authority except for God. For there is no authority except that which God has established. So there is no law except for the law that God established. The authority that exists has been established by God. So the law that exists has been established by God. Romans 13:2. Consistently, whoever rebels against the authority is rebelling against what God has instituted, and those who do so will bring judgment on themselves. So it's pretty much saying, if you rebel against the law, you're rebelling against the laws that God has instituted, and rebelling against these laws, you have brought judgment upon yourself. Oh, okay, so it makes more sense when we read it this way. Or, they both make the same sense. But you have been misinterpreting for years? Your pastor misinterpreted it? Oh, they were saying the government is the authority. Oh, no, they're wrong.
All this version did was replace higher power with governing authorities. It replaced no power but with no authority except. And the powers that be are ordained with authorities that exist have been established. The words may change, but the intended message remains the same. You interpret judgment as God's judgment with this verse. In this verse, one could infer that God gave men powers to govern those in their lands. So, if one broke a law, they would be judged by the very men who God gave powers to. And who are you to tell people that their interpretations of Bible verses are wrong? You did not write any verses in the Bible, so you have no clue what their intended message really is.
So what exactly is law? God, infinite creator.
Men
Source.
and women have made laws based on religious laws since biblical times. And men and women have made laws not based on religious laws, yet are still laws nonetheless, because in Romans 13:1, God gave the higher powers or governing authorities the power to do so. You interpret Romans 13:1 and 2 differently, but that does not make what you interpret as being right. The entire Bible is open to interpretation by those who read it. To use it as absolute truth for everything in reality is foolish.
But yes, back to I'm a burden to society. I am so harmful. I should just go leave this country because I want to follow the rules. So that makes so much sense, because then I have to go to another community and be a part of that. So how about we just get back to the court systems that we have, get rid of the gang members that have taken control. I believe that would be way better than trying to stick people in boxes to demonize them.
I don't believe anyone is a burden to society. However, you are telling those in authority that they are wrong and demonizing them, and, in my opinion, the God in the Bible, because of your interpretation of Romans 13:1 and 2. You have a distrust of education, government, and I would guess all other types of authority.
Oh, I didn't finish. Oh, man, dang it. I was going to do a part today about, on my live stream, about First Amendment auditors, Second Amendment auditors. I would love to see that. That would be amazing. People walking around with guns, open carrying, concealed carrying, whatever they want to do, because they have the right to do whatever they want. And audit their freedoms with the cops. That would be so fun.
Wow, your attitude on this amazes me. You want First Amendment auditors to confront the police while carrying guns? They are already defensive enough when they are asked a question by a police officer. Now you want them to have a gun within reach? What the f*** is wrong with you? Well, it appears you may get your wish. Texas recently passed a law, House Bill 1927, that goes into effect on September 1st of this year and will allow open carry of handguns. It is titled, Relating to Provisions Governing the Carrying of a Firearm by a Person who is 21 years of age or older and not otherwise prohibited by state or federal law from possessing the firearm, and to other provisions related to the carrying, possessing, transporting, or storing of a firearm or other weapon, creating criminal offenses. It is important to note, however, that there are many conditions to this bill, including licensing and where you can open carry and how you open carry, i.e. the gun must be visible and in a holster and not concealed. I have put the link to the bill in the description below.
Oh my God, we need to start doing that, I guess. I don't have any guns. I need to go do my ghost gunner. Because why would I want a licensed gun to the state? Because that's their property. If you don't know, serial number means it's created by a corporation that is licensed by the state. Therefore, it's the state's property because that corporation is the state's property. Whatever state you want to call it, the government. See, when you use these words, state and stuff like that, it's like a broad term. And then you get people thinking that these states have power just because you call it a state. Well, I'm a state, my own state, my state of being, lower S state, not upper S state. I'm not a noun. So when you're reading rules and regulations, is that a capital letter that you got there, or is that a lowercase letter, which changes the meaning of the word? So if you capitalize the whole word, yes, it changes the meaning of that word as well. I think we've all learned that in the indoctrination camps. When you capitalize a word, that it is now a noun. Like it's, don't take me my word on this because I'm not an English expert.
Yes, we already got that you aren't an English expert. But you sure have these soft-sit auditors speak down. Oh, by the way, a noun is a person, place, or thing. And you are a person, so...
As you guys know, this is my worst subjects in indoctrination camp. I was in special ed, special classes, because instead of them wanting to teach me the way I learn, they wanted to push me in their little boxes and teach me the way they thought everybody needs to learn how to be learned or be taught.
Seeing as schools are so burdened with less and less funding every year and the increased class sizes, it is hard to cater to each student's learning abilities. Teachers are not paid enough and don't have enough time to deal with students one-on-one. You were probably put in special ed classes so you could learn. I was put in a special class in the 3rd grade because I had a form of dyslexia to do with hand-eye coordination and couldn't draw shapes correctly. However, you don't see me shitting all over people who can create art. You, however, feel you were treated unfairly at school because they didn't teach you the way you wanted.
You old people need to learn that gold and silver is not needed anymore. God, the universe, the infinite creator, whatever it is, has given us our answers. The God gives us all the answers that we need to solve our problems, give us solutions to things. We just got to use the tools that he gives us, and we got to implement the things. And that is what blockchain is. It's the most powerful thing we have ever experienced.
Now we finally see what all your bitching comes down to. I wasn't sure what blockchain was, so I looked it up. Blockchain is a database site for cryptocurrency. I will link the site in the description below.
In this world, or will experience in this world, it will do away with every corporation, every monopolized business, every hierarchy business. It's going to flatten everybody more equally and allow man to contract with each other privately without the interference of the government. So everything the Constitution has put into place, instead of writing out the rights that we already have for God and then writing on a piece of paper of how the government structure should be formed, we can just do it in code. We don't need somebody else to be interpreting these things. We can work as individuals, and with our computer programming, we can make our own legislation within, or law, or code. Because it is kind of law, because you're using mathematics.
One problem with your world vision. What happens if there is some calamity or if there is an EMF pulse over the US? How is this great godly power of blockchain going to work then? I mean, no electricity, no computer. No computer, no code. No code, no law. No law, Lord of the Flies. You millennials have grown up with computers and have come to rely on them. Us old-timers didn't, and can teach you all a thing or two.
Say, where did my freaking shocker go? Hold on. Is that her? I don't know if that's her or not. God damn it, dog. That's why you need her shocker out more. I'm guessing that's her. Say, let's go now. This is about time I need to put her on
You
a
use
leash.
a shocker on your dog to control her? You didn't train her to stay next to you when out in the woods or just leash her when walking in the woods? Oh, that's right. You don't obey leash laws because they come from man. However, you will leash her when you are walking in your neighborhood as a courtesy. And if you want to be a free man of the land, why not let her be a free dog of the land? Why shock her to control what she does?
See, I will put her on the leash when I need to put her on the leash because she is my property. Animals can be property, can't they?
I consider my cats as family members. They are not pets to be owned. You, however, see your dog as property. I don't doubt that you love her, but you complain about government control and man's laws being wrong and people owning God's land so it's okay to trespass, yet think your dog is your property. An animal that, according to the Bible, was created by God. I am going to end the video here. It's been a long one and this part f***ing pissed me off. More of Freedom Unchained next week. Until then, thank you for watching. See you in the next video.
It's one small step